Hi everyone, and welcome to episode number 106 of the Karen Knits podcast. My name is Karen, and I'm coming to you from South Central Pennsylvania, where I live, where I work, where I knit, and I get into all kinds of other crafting shenanigans. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. It is Saturday, April the 9th, 2022, and it's a dreary day out there today. It's been raining off and on for the last several days here. Right now there's some really dark clouds over that way, and there's blue sky over that way. So this is all looking out my south-ish window. So it's, who knows, it's probably going to start raining again later. It was raining this morning, it cleared up for a while, clouds came back, it rained again. Clouds are clearing up, looks like more dark clouds are coming. Who knows? We don't have to go outside again today, so well, I might see if I can talk the hubby into going out. I see one of our favorite food trucks is just parked out there, just back the street, just a little ways away. See if maybe he wants to go there and grab something to bring home for supper. Cross your fingers. I'll let you know next week whether I got my food truck meal. Anyway, if you're a new viewer, thank you so much for joining me today. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back for another week to see what I've been up to. So it's been a really productive week. It's been a busy week with work, and it's been a busy week getting some knitting done. First thing, I got socks. There's pockets in my socks. Ah! Functional pockets. I love these. These are so cool. These are the Sock Madness 16 round 2 socks. The pattern is called Plaid Pocket Socks. And it's a pattern by Cal from Mars. And I love them. I had showed you the beginnings of them last episode. I love these socks. They were so much fun to make. It uses 3 colors, a main color, and 2 contrast colors. In hindsight, mine sort of look plaid, but they don't look quite the traditional plaid. These are definitely Christmas plaid, and that's where they're going to be going in my box of Christmas socks. But the pattern suggested, and the specs for Sock Madness suggested using 3 colors where your main color was a middle color in terms of darkness. One of the contrasting colors should have been darker than the main, and the second contrasting color was recommended that's lighter than the main color. Some of the pictures I've seen other people that their socks look like your typical plaid. I still love mine. I still think they're really cool. The pocket is knit as you go. It uses a double knitting technique. The inside of the pocket is just simple stripes in the 2 contrast colors, with the pocket being done in the main color. The heel flap is a nice squishy one. The gusset decreases were on the bottom. Let's see if I can kind of scooch this around a bit. It went down the bottom of the heel, coming around the heel and down the bottom of the foot, and then it goes to a typical wedge toe, and I really like these. I did my prop pictures with a couple little mini old, it's April, these are candy canes still from Christmas time. My hubby and I are not huge candy cane fans, so they're still here, but I did the picture with a couple little candy canes in the pocket. But so now I will toss out these candy canes now that they've got yarn fuzzies on them. So those are my round 2 Sock Madness socks, and I think they turned out really good. I really like these. They're really neat, and I love the pockets. I think that's just such a neat idea. So again, these were plaid pocket socks, and it was a pattern by Cow from Mars. I used 2.5mm needles. It's stranded color work through the majority of the pattern, and I used the white is just a bare yarn, and the red and the green are each yarns I dyed myself. The red is the same. I used what was left from my round 1 socks. The red is what's left over. The green I had used in some other pair of socks in the past. So again, they were leftovers. And I think for mine I did the size medium, and I used 17 grams of each of the contrasting colors for both of the socks, and I think I used 51 grams of the white. The details are on my Ravelry page, which I will link down below. So that was round 2. I finished them quickly enough so that I am moving ahead to round 3, which will be beginning soon. There are still, when I last checked about an hour ago, there were still 6 spots available in total across all of the teams. My team B, is full, and it filled up sometime, I believe, yesterday. I finished these on Wednesday. I stayed up late Tuesday night. I couldn't, I was just getting too fuzzy and tired, and I thought I don't want to mess it up. So I got up early and finished them up on Wednesday, and they were approved. So I was person number 23 out of 32 possible seats on spots on my team. So with 6 spots left open across a variety of teams still competing, the next round, or round 2, will end either when those 6 spots are full, or we reach just shy of 11 a.m. Eastern time in the United States on Tuesday, 11 o'clock in the morning. So there might be people who, or there might be spots on some of the teams that don't fill, or they don't finish before Tuesday at 11 o'clock, or it might finish a day or 2 early. We shall see. Either which way, my socks are done, and I'm happy with them, and I'm really happy and really excited that I'm going to be advancing through until the next round. So I'm really happy with that. And I had a lot of fun knitting those, although I must say my hands were aching by the time I was done. But I really enjoyed working on those. So that's 1 finished object. I was hoping to have 2 finished objects to show you today, but I didn't quite make it on the second one. So now I am again back down to one single whip until round 3 starts. And my other project is my Flax Light sweater that I'm making for a friend of ours and her little baby girl, who's between 5 and 6 months old now. I keep saying she's 5 months old. By the time I finally finish these, she'll probably be at least 6 months old. It is what it is. So my Flax Light, I have made a lot of progress since I last saw you. So when I last saw you, I was, let me try holding this up. So Flax Light is a pattern by Tin Can Knits, for anyone who's not aware of that. I think I might be one of the last people on the planet to have made a flax or a Flax Light, and I love the pattern. So last time I saw you, I was working on the body, and I was at this marker here. So I finished the body, since Wednesday. Once I was finished with my round 2 socks, I switched back to my Flax Light sweater. And I'm making this 6 to 12 month size. So I finished the body, and I picked up the stitches on the sleeve on Thursday, late in the day on Thursday, and I finished most of the sleeve yesterday. And I had hoped I would finish the second sleeve before I started filming, but I'm just starting the second sleeve. I think I've only done about four rounds on the second sleeve just this afternoon. So that's where I am now. So I am hoping that I still have a little bit of time between now and when the next pattern drops, the next Sock Madness pattern drops, so I can finish the second sleeve and then get the last few ends tucked in and get this ready to go. And I'm enjoying this. This is a really fun and quick knit. I probably will be making one for myself. It's going to take a little bit more yarn than a 6 month to a 1 year size. Doesn't quite fit. So I might be making one of these for myself down the road. We shall see. But for these, I'm using yarn that I dyed myself. It's in fingering weight yarn, and this is a skein of yarn I dyed quite a while back, and it was one of my early experiments with playing around with dyeing yarn for my own use. And I used Kool-Aid for it, just the powdered Kool-Aid packets, and I think it turned out really neat. I used like a red flavor and an orange flavor, and kind of sprinkled it on. I might have used 2 reds, a darker red and a lighter red, and the orange. Now that I'm looking at it, I don't remember. I didn't keep notes. Yeah. So that's my Flax Light. I'm using 3.75 millimeter needles for the body and 2.75 millimeter needles for the ribbing at the bottom, the neckband, and the little cuffs. So hopefully by the time I see you next week, I will have my second sleeve and have it blocked and all ready to give away and show you before I do give it away. So that's my Flax Light, and I'm having a lot of fun knitting this. Like I say, it's a nice, quick, easy, relatively mindless knit. Lots of stockinette, a little bit of garter panel down the sleeves, and it's a lot of fun. The pattern called for 100 gram skein of fingering weight yarn. I'm going to have quite a bit extra. So I'm almost thinking I might be able to make the 1 to 2 year old size using a single skein, and I might try that down the road. We'll see. So Flax Light by Tin Can Knits. And those are the only 2 projects I worked on this past week. Those are the only 2 projects I had, period, in the past week. So the only 2 on the needles at all. So once I'm finished with Flax Light, I am ready to start something else. I have been eyeing up a handful of patterns. I have several skeins of, what on earth is it called? Loops and Thread Wool-like. It's a yarn that I saw, a friend of mine pointed it out. It was on sale at Michael's, and you had to buy them in packages of 3 of the same color, and it was super inexpensive. So I went a little bit haywire and I bought, I think, 7 or 8 colors. I know I have black, white, a light purple, a light blue, a medium blue, gray, a yellow, a rose color, maybe I bought a lot. So, and I had thought they would be good for socks, and the yarn is just too fine. It's a light fingering, and when they say a light fingering, it's a light fingering. So they won't be going into socks. And since I have 3 skeins of each, I am looking at, between the 3 skeins, I think between each package with 3 skeins, I have in the neighborhood of 2,000 yards. Like these things that there's substantial yardage on on a 100 gram skein. There's substantial yardage on it. And I think it's over 600. Yeah, I think it's 600 and some yards per 100 gram skein. So I think I calculated out that I was between 2,000 and 2,100 yards of yarn in the 3 skeins. So I have started eyeing up some short sleeve summer kind of sweaters. The yarn is a nylon and acrylic mix. It's not a natural fiber. So I'll see what I think of it, what it's like for working with, and I will see what it's like for, it'll have to be steam blocked because I can't, it's acrylic, I can't block it any other way. I'll see what it knits up like and see how much blocking it might need. But I'm eyeing up several different short sleeve sweaters, of which it is like most of them have a sweater, the sleeves are only to here. I will probably lengthen it by a few inches so that it comes to just above the elbow. But I'm eyeing up several patterns. So if I finish Flax Light before the next pattern for Sock Madness comes out, it'll be mandatory that I cast on something else because I cannot have nothing on the needles. I can't. The only other thought that I am contemplating starting up is that I want to make 2 small-ish afghans or wraps or lap blankets for a friend of mine that I used to work with and her daughter. So a few years, well, probably almost 5 years ago now, this young lady I used to work with, she gave me numerous skeins of yarn. They were yarns that her mother had bought and that her mother had planned to use, but her mother passed away, and my friend is not a knitter slash crocheter. She doesn't do, her mom did a lot of that, but that's not her thing. So she knows that I'm a knitter slash crocheter. So she gave me the yarn thinking I could do something with it. The yarn she gave me is in shades of oranges and purples. Purples I love, oranges not so much. So the 2 yarns, one I think is a bulky weight, the other is a worsted weight. And what I'm thinking of doing with those yarns is I'm thinking I will crochet all of the purple and the orange combination yarns into a bunch of squares, whether I do granny squares. I think I'll probably just do like a double crochet type square. And what I'll do is I will go out and buy some of the same type of yarn in a neutral color, whether it's probably a cream or white, and I will use those to alternate and make the same type of squares with that yarn, and I'll stretch out the skeins that I have so that I'll have enough to make 2 probably single bed size blankets. And then I'll I'll get together with her sometime. She lives about 1.5 to 2 hour drive from me. So I'm thinking I can go over, visit her some Saturday or something, and take the blankets and give them to her and her daughter. So there'll be one for her and one for her daughter. So that's the plan. So I might dig those out, or dig that yarn out, see how much I have, start scheming a plan. So I might start those. Or I might start working on the a summer sweater for myself, like a short sleeve summer sweater for myself with the wool-like yarn. I'm basically trying to use up a lot of the yarn I have in stash, because I have a lot of yarn. I have way too much yarn, and I'm really trying to not buy a lot more yarn for myself. I really do want to be intentional about using up a lot of the yarn I do have. So stay tuned. Next week I might have a new sweater started, or I might have some Afghan squares to show you. We shall see. What else? I went out to do some shopping. I'm talking about I don't need stuff. But I was poking around. A friend of mine gave me a $20 gift card for Joann's Fabrics as a Christmas gift. And I went yesterday. I got to go to a Joann's location that has a larger, better selection than the local one that's closer to me. So I took my card there and I got myself a copy of the magazine Daphne's Diary. It's like a crafting, paper craft type of magazine. Nothing knitting related. It's just a paper crafting type magazine, and I love it. But I really like the magazine. So I got that, and then I was looking around because I knew that wouldn't use up the whole $20. So I was trying to come up with some other things, and I was looking around, and they had clearance signs on some of the buttons. And some of the buttons were marked down 70%. So I went looking through, trying to find all the green tags for those that were on sale. And I found one set of buttons that I really liked. These ones. And they were on 70% off, so there's 4 of them. And they're little sunflowers. And I thought these were really pretty. And I thought that would be perfect for the buttons to go onto some kind of cardigan. That 4 buttons will be enough for something that maybe just has buttons across like the top half of the sweater, and then has like a open flappity bottom, but it has like a flowing bottom half to it. So I thought I can use I wish they'd had 2 packets of these, because I would have grabbed both of them, but there was only the single packet of the little sunflower buttons. So I picked those up, and I think they were regular price, I think $3.99 on 70% off, so they were dirt cheap. Unfortunately, they didn't have anything else that really caught my eye for buttons. That was the only one that did. That was the only package that did catch my eye. So I got that, and I still have $1.50 left on my card. So I'll use it on something some other time, or use it towards something I buy another time. What else? It's been a busy week. It's going to be a busy week next week, and the following week. We're getting towards the end of the semester. We only have 3 weeks of classes left, then final exams and graduation. So things are really ramping up at school right now. The search committee I'm on, we have selected 4 individuals we want to invite to campus. So that's going to chew up a lot of time. There's going to be a minimum of 4 days where I will be on campus observing our candidates, doing teaching demonstrations, through the interview process, going out for lunch with them or dinner with them, and all kinds of things. So those things I will not be able to knit during those. I won't. The Zoom interview parts, I could do some knitting there where it wasn't visible what I was doing, but I won't be knitting while we're fully interviewing on a campus visit, some of these candidates. So that's going to be coming up. We are, someone up on campus is working on getting the dates figured out and the times and all of that stuff worked out. 3 of the candidates are relatively local, so it's probably only going to be like a half day to a 3/4 day time, so it'll probably only be lunch. One of them is coming from a little farther away, so that one will likely involve going out for dinner also, although I don't know if all the search committee will go out or just the ones that are going to be working more closely with the candidate. Who knows? I'll find out more details as they arrive. So otherwise, I think that's it. I should let you get going. I'm hoping I can talk the hubby into, we have nothing planned for supper, so. And we haven't seen this food truck that is barbecue. And their pulled pork is out of this world. I love their pulled pork. So, wish me luck. I'm going to try to talk the hubby into having that for supper tonight. We shall see. I'm hoping so. Because we have nothing planned for supper. Nothing's taken out of the freezer, nothing's thawed. Oh, rats. We were thinking we were going to have grilled cheese sandwiches. We'll see if I can talk them out of that. Grilled cheese sandwiches will be a little bit easier on the budget and on the pocketbook, but pulled pork is so good. Anyway, I'll stop rambling about food. So on that note, I'm going to let you go. And I'll be back to see you in a week, and you'll see what the round 3 socks look like. We'll see when they've come out and how much progress I make on them, and whether I've begun a new project or not. So come back next week and see where I'm at. Alrighty, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I will see you again soon. Bye.